Welcome. This is the complete audiobook of Evil Spirits of Arrested Development by Worley. If you would like an online PDF copy of this book, it is available for free download from Straightway Truth Ministry at straightwaytruth.com, spelled Straightwaytruth.com. That's Straightwaytruth.com. And click onto the Resources tab at the top for the link. If this reading is blessing you and you realize you have a need for deliverance, an experienced and viable healing and deliverance ministry is Straightway Truth Ministry at straightway.com or straightwaytruth.com, spelled StraightWay.com or StraightWaytruth.com. You can also call the dining hall at 615-688-3025. The ministry is under the leadership of Pastor Charles Dowell Jr., and you can reach his YouTube page at user Pastor Dowell, spelled PastorDowell. Thank you, and on to the reading. Evil Spirits of Arrested Development by Worley. Deliverance workers in California report praying for a 36-year-old single woman who lived with her mother. The parent is a very dedicated Christian who works in deliverance. The daughter had been taken by her father and subjected to a bizarre ritual of dedication to Satan. Although he was a highly successful professional man, he had become heavily involved with this very demonic cult. Among other things, the ceremony involved placing the child in a coffin, Isaiah 54:13, 2 Timothy 3:14-17. This would have affected her for life had it not been for deliverance. Numerous demons had been given legal rights to enter the child because of her father's consent to the acts. The ruling spirit who finally emerged was Arrested Development. He was a powerful prince with a great deal of authority over specific areas of her life. Lodged in her mind, he directed the activities of many wicked spirits functioning under his control. It took many weeks and repeated sessions of deliverance battle before Arrested Development was stripped of his support demons and left standing alone. To finish him off and kick him out took a grueling 6-hour session. The last 30 minutes of the session he grew flustered. Although he knew he was defeated and could not stay, he still stalled for more time. He claimed he had been in charge of her from conception until age 13. When she was 10, a spirit of homosexuality entered her. He bragged about influencing girls in her thinking about the homosexual area and how they should dress. He pushes them to dress mannishly or sloppily to move them closer to lesbianism and overt acts of homosexuality. This demon arranges for girls under 13 to be molested. This opens the way for the entrance of incest, rape, and other evil spirits. He also interferes with all development beyond age 13. When attending the university, a professor remarked that this young lady was 19 going on 13. The wicked spirit further stated that he can make females think they are back in the womb. He also attempts to cut off or interfere with the pregnancies, choking off the breath. Such attacks sometimes come while the target is sleeping. Many are highly susceptible to these kind of problems. This spirit entity leads victims to regress and think as a child in order to open the way for heavy demonization. To progress past 13 is difficult and almost impossible when handicapped by this spirit and his workers. 13-year-old females are too young to date, hold a job, or marry. When they secure a position, this teenage syndrome keeps recurring, convincing them that they are not qualified to handle a job. All kinds of continual harassment pressure them to quit or get fired. Arrested development does not stop the learning process, but it interferes with and confuses it. This young lady was working on her master's degree at the time of the deliverance. Each time she wants to progress and go forward, the enemy presses her to react abnormally to trigger a series of contrary things. For example, during an interview, spirits would manipulate her mind, producing the reactions of a 2-year-old. She might break down and weep or begin to say, "I don't know if I can do this job." This sort of thing had ruined interviews of being accepted for a school, etc. This resulted in much humiliation, embarrassment, and humiliation. Even her complexion and skinny, underdeveloped figure was that of a 13-year-old. Arrested development caused her to dwell upon these childish things, and she was harassed with these preoccupations. One spirit, called Under 13, reinforces sloppiness and the inability to hold a job, date, or get married. The spirit makes the victim wait forever. Mental blockage and mindset is that of an immature teenager. He also drives a person relentlessly toward drugs to induce stupor and excess sleep. Although the person may be adult chronologically, there will be extreme depression and complete withdrawal response resembling a small child. It was found helpful to ask the Lord to send in angels to loose the Spirit's grip on the mind. We also confessed and asked forgiveness for the sin of parental failure to properly discipline, sparing the rod of correction. Some demons found associated with arrested development. Multitudes of evil spirits have named themselves and been cast out of affected people. Below is a partial list of those discovered and cast out in Jesus' name. Pamper me, having my own way, spoiled, grandpa and grandma's little girl, daddy's little girl, no discipline, control parent by manipulation, lying, 3-year-old, coloring the truth, getting what I want regardless of cost, playing on people's sympathy, want to return to womb, irresponsible, tantrums, childish self-will, crying, kicking, screaming, ugliness, scrawniness, no shape, skin disorders, I hate my body, unable to date, cannot find a date, can't marry, dodging responsibility, too young to work, too young to have children, too young to babysit, lesbian spirits, abnormal childhood, abnormal adolescence, abnormal sensitivity, abused child, addiction to junk food, sexual impurity, adultery, Ahab, Jezebel, anger, depression, anti-discipline, anti-family, separation from family, inferiority complex, apprehension, argument, bad habits, addiction to chocolate, addiction to sugar, addiction to pop, candy, bedwetting, compulsion, knuckle cracking, nose picking, thumb sucking, bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness of mother, father, brothers, sister, etc., blockages in family relationships, feelings, growth, maturity, normal family, normal ministry, normal life, personality, responsibility, bondage, careless indifference, abuse by father, child molestation, child condemnation, childish gossip, childish greediness, childish parental arguments, threatening parents and children, competition, compromise, confusion, contention, control, life patterns control, contrariness, criticism, criticized childhood, cursing, daydreaming, daydreamer, childish dreams, demanding, depression, disagreeable, discord, discontentment, discouraged life, disputing, disgusted, disrespect for church, mother, father, elders, disobedience to parents, disunity, divorce, domineering, mother and father, doom, escape from reality, fantasy, false accusations, false compassion for mother and father, etc. False friends, guilt, family accuser, family destruction, family disunity, family rejection by mother and father, family separation, fantasy baby, fantasy childhood, personality spirits of dad, family, fantasy parents, fantasy grandparents, fantasy playtime, fantasy personality, fears, fault finding, fear of losing mother, father, relatives, friends, family, fear of rejection, fear of financial failure, bankruptcy, block finances, hard times, poverty, role playing, fornication, frustration, shame, hatred for authority, proper food, mother, father, grandparents, friends, heavy pressure, hopelessness, temper, hurt feelings, hyperactivity, idle pouting, idle worship, immature adolescent mind decision making, demanding family relationships, immature self-discipline, waiting, jealousy, job, lack of appreciation, misunderstanding, lack of willpower, laziness, leader of the home, child dominance, learning difficulties, loneliness, lonely childhood, lost interest, lost communication, lost family, lying, malnutrition, mental disorder, messiness, mind confusion, mind control, insanity, schizophrenia, morning moods, nasty mouth, negative approach, negative attitude, anxiety, bad nerves, oppression, nervousness, heavy oppression, nervous stomach, nervous breakdown, nicotine, controlled sleep pattern, nighttime fears, forbidden sleep, insomnia, overtired, recurring dreams, restless nights, pressure sleep, tormented dreams, overprotected, parental correction, planned disobedience, perseverance, procrastination, quitter, rebellion, prenatal rejection, rejection from workers, employers, restless spirits, revenge, rushed childhood, sadness at mealtime, self-condemnation, oversensitive, slothful, solitude, grief, suicide, tattletale, timid, tormented childhood, unclean, shallow mind, ungodly disciple, ungrateful, unlearned behavior, unstable adult, vain babbling, violence, worry, wasted childhood, addiction to food, gluttony, fatness, weight loss, anorexia nervosa, bulimia, loss of appetite, starvation, withdrawal, wounded spirit, disunity, failure, hate, miscommunication, lack of communication, false feelings, false friendship, satanic discipline, deliverance block, freedom block, fear of animals, fear of the dark, bad luck, block financial blessings, block budget, covetousness, discouraged worker, fear of giving, fear of future, financial ruin, greed, hardship, losing job, overgenerosity, overspending, foolish spending, theft. What is arrested development? The following studies of arrested development are based on information gleaned from both scriptural and secular sources, including medical journals. Valuable experience and insights were gained from deliverance workers ministering to individuals in the area of arrested development for the past 2 years. Undoubtedly, there is much more to be learned in this latest breakthrough in deliverance. Almost 100% of the population is handicapped in this area. This would range from slight to crippling. Webster's dictionary defines the compound term of arrested development by breaking it down into two words. Arrested, to bring to a stop, to slow, to make inactive, seize, capture, to take or keep in custody by authority of law. Development, growth that stagnated, put in custody, which has the authority to do so, which slows down or stops. We purpose to expose the enemy for what he is, thus revealing his widespread networks and areas of control. These demons are not listed in any particular order, nor does our listing set limits or order of sequence. It is a list of evil spirits and how they work together. We have arranged them in this order for an overview demonstrating how powerful and far-reaching these spiritual kingdoms are. It illustrates these relationships and how they work together to attack an individual. The divided format may be used as a partial list of the evil spirits orchestrated in the ranks of arrested development. Although many misguided believers do not accept it, arrested development and all those in the demonic kingdoms recognize that men are a trinity: body, soul, and spirit. The enemy realizes that if growth in any of these three areas can be stunted or slowed, it will weaken or even destroy the entire person. Satan's emissaries work constantly to control the individual by disrupting this three-part harmony. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat, but how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 12. The Lord created man as body, soul, and spirit. If the devil can slip in undetected in one area, he will continue to spread his rottenness to other areas. The result can be the destruction of everything but salvation itself. This makes it imperative that we learn to detect these dangerous inroads ready, prevent it from spreading, and root it out. Rejection, the alcoholic syndrome, and Leviathan are three ruling spirits who have been found closely related to arrested development. These three leaders are known for opening the door and giving grounds for arrested development to come in and stay. They also appear in the fruit produced by the individual later on. Arrested development. Arrested body. Physical growth and development slowed or stopped. Muscular dystrophy. Muscles arrested. Down's syndrome. Mongoloid. Retardation. Brain cells arrested. Epstein-Barr virus. Bodily functions and day-to-day skills. bedwetting, visual and audio problems, stunted motor skills, midget and stunted growth, arrested soul, mind learning disabilities, fear of learning disabilities, slow reader, slow hearer, dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, mental block, fears and insecurities, and social problems caused by these, block learning, confusion, spatial, motor, and other perceptual deficits resulting from head injuries and or meningitis, communication, memory, impulsivity, short attention span, schizophrenia, will, strong self-will, spirit of the child, childishness, doesn't want to leave, security by growing up, tantrums and fits, childish self-will, self-life, self-love, immaturity, slothful, laziness, controlled by parents, always wanting their way, irresponsible, inability to put away childish things, self, emotions, rejection, fear of rejection, mental abuse by parents, control and domination over projection, double mindedness, wavering, doubt and unbelief, rebellion, rejection from mother and father, loneliness, overdependence on others, anger, frustration, outcast, spirit. Leviathan retards spiritual growth and development, impairment of senses, faulty judgment and discernment, misunderstanding of scriptures, false doctrine, false gifts, error and heresy, slothfulness, inexperience, guilt and condemnation from all of these, devourer, eating of precious time with the Lord and His Word on things that matter in eternity, spiritual schizophrenia, uncertainty concerning the Lord's will and voice. The threefold cord principle operates in the area of the soul, mind, will, emotions. If the enemy can weaken or damage just one of these three, the entire rope is weakened. Therefore, it is important to work diligently in each of these three areas to purify and cleanse ourselves of enemy infiltration and strongholds. Arrested development is one of the largest areas of attack on the soul through learning disabilities. This powerful spirit and his helpers are able to destroy in body, soul, and spirit. The mind, will, and emotions are particularly vulnerable to attack.